Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Bob and Nancy. And we've been Christians over 42, 43 years, and I've met a lot of people. And today I'm just going to tell you some funny stories. And it's called Finding Money. How many of you ever found any money? Did you ever go down the street? Oh, look, there's five $100 bills, you know. Have you ever found any money? So these are just stories I've met people over the years about finding money. And we go garage selling a lot, so we talk to a lot of people. A lot of people share with me about different stories and things. And the first one, the story I want to talk about, I went to a garage sale one day, and he just started talking to me, and I call it finding money under the bed. He says, my dad died up in Pennsylvania. These are just stories, fun stories. He died up in Pennsylvania. He says, I have four brothers. There's five of us total, four brothers. And he says, I got a booth over at the flea market, and he says, I work all the time. So the other four brothers went up to Dad's house, and I just said, hey, take whatever you want. You know, whatever, take whatever you want. And finally the brothers called me back and said, hey, I know you're busy down there. We got whatever we wanted out of the house. And whatever's left is yours. So finally he said, I had some time off, so I went up to Pennsylvania. So I went to Dad's old house out there in Pennsylvania. It was out in the country. He said, I went in there and just a bunch of old stuff that they didn't, or had been picked over by the four brothers. Didn't want nothing, just some old junky tools and junky furniture. And he says, no big deal. And he said, I went upstairs and there was my dad's old bed. And he said it was a cannonball bed, had big old balls on each of the corners and all that. And he says, you know, I love my dad, and I thought, you know, maybe I just take the bed. You know, I don't want nothing around here, but do I want the bed upstairs? He said, I'd tear it apart, take it down the stairs, put it on my trailer, take it back to Florida. And so anyway, he said, okay, I'll just take the bed. You know, just a memory of Dad. He says, I took that bed, and he says, I started taking it apart, taking the bolt, taking the mattress off. He said, I looked under the mattress, there was $55,000 in the mattress. $55,000. And the brothers always said, whatever's left is yours. We don't want nothing else, you know. $55,000. And he said that was really a shocker, you know. So he said, here I am down in Florida now with my dad's $55,000. I found it under the bed. And Bob, by the way, there's the cannonball bed right over there. So I thought that was kind of a fun money story. You know, so today's teaching we call Finding the Money. So the next story, I had met a guy one day, and he said, my dad died. I knew he had some money, but I didn't know where it was. And it wasn't in a will. He said, I got the house and everything. And he said, you know, after he died and we buried him, he says, I going through the house, his desk, got all these papers, and I just kind of going through. And one of the letters says, do not open until I'm dead. And he said, that was strange. Well, he's dead. He said, I opened the letter out, and he says, there's a box buried in the backyard. It says, go out the backyard, go over where the water spigot is. He says, walk out 20 feet and dig down 1 foot, and there's a box. That's all the letter said. He said, Bob, I went out there, walked out 20 feet off the sprinkler, dug down a foot, and there was a box. He says, that thing was full of gold, silver, and $100 bills. So there we go again, finding money. Finding money on the bed, finding money in the yard, you know. These are just funny stories. And it's funny, it all kind of leads to death. Another time we took my granddaughter Mia. We went to a estate sale. Went there, and this room was packed with clothes on these lines. It's all these old clothes, and my granddaughter's kind of funky anyway. And so it had all these clothes, $1 each. Jackets and whatever. Just a big long rack of clothes. So she went out, got a couple funky things out. We got home. And she started going through the pockets. She found $23. There we go. Finding money number 3. You never know. I'll tell you what, from now on I go to estate sales, I'm going through the books. I'm looking for the Bible. I'm lifting mattresses today, man. Hey, money out there. So that's money story number 3. Finding money, it's under the bed, in the yard. Now it's in closed pockets. And here's another funny story. I was kind of buying old travel trailers, and I was just kind of flipping them and redoing them and stuff. So I got this one, and I tore the cabinets out, and way back in the back of this cabinet was a jar of money. I go, wow, money! A jar hidden way back under the cabinets, under the drawers, stuck way back in the corner. I thought, Bob is rich. So I took that old jar of money out, and I shook it out, and it was all it was all money from South America, Central America, and some Mexican money in there, and some weird change. And one neat thing, I don't have it on right now, but there's a beautiful gold ring with a black stone in it, all gold. I don't have it on right now. And I thought, cool. I took out all that money. I thought, I'm rich, man. I went down to the money store where they sit buy old money and sell money, dumped all that out. He says, Bob, all that money, it comes to $2.75. You know, I sell it in these paper money. It says 25,000 on them, all this stuff. But it was really, didn't mean nothing. So Bob did find a jar of cash with $2.75, but I still got a really nice solid gold ring in the black stone. Crazy. This is another money story. Money in the jar. This is really funny. So I watch on TV, they were fishing with magnets. They were going out in lakes and water, and they dropped this. I got a magnet out there. Well, it'll pick up like 300 or 400 pounds. So I put that on a 50-foot rope. We live on a lake that was built in 1945, and these show all these swords and guns and all this stuff coming up, you know. So I thought, I'm going to be rich in my backyard. So Nate and I, we get out on the boat. I take my magnet. Oh, I got 30 foot of rope, and we're out there. I worked the whole trip. Couldn't find nothing, man. The guy thought, man, this is like, what, 50, 75 years old? Gotta be stuff people thrown in there in 75 years, you know? So I got down on the lake, down the road, and boy, I got something heavy. Oh, I got something heavy. I thought, boy, whatever this is, we're in the money now, you know? I kept pulling, and finally got that sucker up to the top of the water. It was a safe. I thought, I'm rich, you know? And then I flipped it around, the door was off. So we got the safe up, and the safe was empty. Okay, this is the last story, money story. So the last money story, a few years ago, Nancy and I, we got some metal detectors. So we go out to the beach. So we go out to the beach metal detecting. And so you see on TV, there are all these rings and doubloons and all the diamonds and gold chains and all this stuff. I mean, we worked the turf. I mean, the only thing we could find was beer cans and flip toppers, but we were searching for the gold. And I probably worked Braden Beach very well. I found 3 pennies. 3 pennies. So we're up 3 cents, you know. And anyway, we went to out there with Shaw's Point or with
where the monument
yeah,
is.
monument.
75th Street.
It says 75th Street. I thought, man, this is back in time. Maybe there would be something in here. So we went in there with our metal detectors, and I found 3 quarters.
Okay.
That's the most.
You started finding quarters. I was excited.
Quarters, man. And then here comes the cop, the works for the government. This is illegal for you to be on government property with metal detectors. So I had to turn it all back in, and we left.
Can I close up?
Sure.
And listen, but I found shells too out there. They were broken shells, and you know, she says, well, what's in your bucket? And I said, well, quarters and shells. She says, you have to put all the shells back. You can keep the quarters. That's what she said to me.
Right.
That's right. She said that to me.
We got the quarters.
But I want to tell you something. Hear all these treasure stories, but you know, you got the biggest treasure of all if you got Jesus. And you know what? I didn't even hunt for him. He hunted for me, and he's hunting for you too. And if you're out there and you don't know, he's hunting you down because he loves you and he wants you for his very own. We got the greatest treasure in the whole world forever.
And it lives in our heart.
Oh, it's so awesome. What peace.
What was the Bible story about the guy who bought the field?
He bought the field. He found a treasure. He bought the whole field.
That's right.
For that treasure. And it's going to blow our minds. I don't even know, but boy, do I have an imagination.
So
oh gosh.
You got treasure in your life? We turn this thing physical or real spiritual, and that treasure is Jesus in your heart.
Gosh.
If you don't have him in your heart today, that treasure come in, it'll transform you and change you.
Yes.
And your name will go in the Lamb's Book of Life.
All you have to do is say, Jesus, come into my heart and life. Forgive me of my sins. Live your life in me from this day forward. Do you know it's August 13th, 2020? That's a good day to be born again.
Amen. So all you got to do is say, come in, Jesus, and be sincere. He'll change your life forever. God bless you guys today.